Reaperman here with a bit of a thrift find that I never knew I needed. It's the Playtime time control system for video games and TV. It's kind of a parental aid for video games. It's a fairly robust timer system that actually is a little bit better built and more creative than it really has any business in being. Unfortunately, this device came out in 2005 and only supports composite video, so it was probably not going to do well. As you can see, I found this at the thrift store for actually half off that, so $6.50. And before I got it, it was actually new in the box, though the box had the tear in it. These are available on eBay fairly inexpensively, actually. And they all seem to be new, as if nobody ever used these things. So, well, I guess we'll flip around the box quick. As you can see, there's a PS2 controller down there with a wire kind of photoshopped out. Looks to be a DVD player and a VCR, but interestingly it says out of time on the screen, and will be pretty interesting to see if it actually does this. So first I plan to go around the box, and I plan to pull this thing out and have a closer look at it, but at the end I will give this thing a try down in my new CRT corner. Up here you can kind of see a bit of its build quality there. You've got the lockbox section, and you got these little tokens that you slot in, then you hit the button and it starts this timer. Every token is good for 15 minutes. Here on the back we can see just a little bit more about it as well. You've got your 2TV composite there, and underneath you've got your in and out RF and your in composite along with your power cable. And nothing on the bottom, very little on the sides. This is for ages 4 to 12. Key features: comes with 40 tokens. Each token allows 15 minutes of game playing or TV viewing. It's got an on-screen display and audible warning for time expiration. So it will actually do that out of time, presumably, and probably either mute your game or become very obnoxious. It's got a pause button that allows breaks without losing time. That'll be that button on the top, I wager. Secure case with key access. It doesn't look like it's much of key access, but we'll have a look at that later. So yeah, it is actually a little bit more creative than it has any business being. Your kids, if they were to try and circumvent this, the first few things they tried would not work. It's got, looks to be a 12-foot or so composite cable, and it's got a kind of an RF coax here. Here's the keys. If you have a look at the pinning on them, they are rather pathetic. Looks like not too many pins in those. Here is here's the power supply. We'll get that going here. Pop this out, and now down to the unit itself. Well, first of all, I guess I can pop up the manuals. Got the user guide. Very nice manual. I'm not going to read that. I may superimpose little bits of it on the screen, though. I'll read this first. Quick setup. I think we can figure this out. Now up here we got the play limit itself. This is that button, presumably for starting and pausing the timer. It's got the lockbox. Inside the lockbox are all of the controls for actually setting this thing up. And on the back we've got the composite jack, and this is the composite out to the TV, and also the power in. All the rest of them are behind this shield, which is of course controlled by a switch in the lockbox. And a quick jump later, and I've got this thing all plugged in. Now let's have a look inside here with the key. Here's the legendary 40 tokens. Pull one of these things out so you can see it. It says 15, little road sign on it, and another road sign, a play limit 15 on the other side. This is kind of fun. There is no tray inside, and I've kind of been debating making up some little cardboard tray kind of along the lines of those cafeteria French fry holders to slide in there and help get the coins out, or else you have to dig them over this lip. Here we can see the actual operation here, whether you want it in token play, totally off like grounded mode, or all the way on, which is kind of like a free play. You can do whatever you want on the weekends kind of thing. And over here you have the controls for what you want it to interfere with, whether you want it to interfere with your RF, your composite, which they call TV and game, or both of them. It's currently set to both of them. The last thing down here, and it's a little stiff, is actually a big old mechanical switch. I usually have to wedge a screwdriver in there and Gonna give it a twist. Click. And that actually releases the back panel here. So we pull the back panel off. As you can see, you've got these slots in there for the cords. And here you got your RF in and out, and your composite in. And here's your composite out to the TV. This section over here is just for that locking mechanism, which is just a physical lock that hooks onto the back. And now let's have a quick look at coin operation. Right now it's in. There's 14 minutes of one of these 15-minute tokens in it, and it's currently paused since I've hit this button up here. So let's just unpause it. Then the light stays on instead of flashing. We can drop more tokens in for more time. Every token, of course, increments this thing 15 minutes. Ripperman here, and we're down in my CRT corner for probably the first time on video. And right here in my hand I've got the 2 tokens I did from doing the wife's chores, you know, the waxing the canoe, the painting the fences, and the cleaning the pipes, and all the other handyman euphemisms for things that didn't really happen. But now it's time to unwind with some good old N64. So I got these 2 tokens here, and we'll just pop one of these guys in. Boom, 15 minutes, the screen comes on. Now the audio was playing when the screen wasn't on. So that's interesting. They mentioned audio cues, and that must be when this thing starts to run low on time. And we can pop in another one of these. Let's try pausing. Oh, isn't that clever? It's got a little readout of my time, and it's got the word paused. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, now I have to kill half an hour or so that you can hear the audio cues. That was the first one, the 5-minute warning. This has been a look at the play limit, or I guess out of time, parental aid video gaming unit. And it's made of good plastic, it's pretty sturdy, and I think that I'm actually going to kind of keep it here. Token operating this setup right over here, actually just the N64 because I've got a big old switch so it doesn't get too annoying. But yeah, I'm going to keep the N64 on token play from now on, I think.